This is a Fox 17 winter weather alert.
All right, Marisa, switching gears now to the weather forecast, and there will be some things to deal with overnight tonight, particularly Grand Rapids and especially off to the north. We've got a bare landscape, by the way. Did you notice that after yesterday's 48-degree high temperature on Sunday? Just surged into the upper 40s. Today we only landed at 38 locally, but the coupling of those 2 days with some brisk southerly winds, in particular yesterday, we have eradicated the snowpack and gotten down to just this kind of ugly looking grass out there. But you know what? I'll take that over the thick snowpack. I don't see any big snow systems in our future, but there can be a little bit of icing here overnight tonight. The good news is that the majority of it occurs while you're sleeping, and by the time you wake up in and around Grand Rapids and points to the south, I mean, it's long gone. It's just a plain rain, and temperatures will be in the upper half of the 30s. By the time you go to the bus stop there on a Tuesday morning, east winds, they're stiff at about 15 to occasionally as high as 20 miles per hour. Here's that ice accumulation graphic. Now, I want to make clear this is not going to be an ice storm by the nature of that. We're not looking at power lines down or anything of that order, but as far as slick travel, certainly across Oceana, Newaygo, and Mecosta counties, getting going around midnight and into the overnight. It'll be a light precipitation there to start off, but picking up the pace, say 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., and beyond. That's when some of the steadier rains come in, and it'll still be cold enough at that point to have freezing rain in our northern communities. Also, the central and northern portions of Muskegon County, central and especially northern Kent County, and then central and especially northern Ionia County into Montcalm County. That is the zone where you can get at least some light freezing rain, and for a short period here after midnight, can indeed get that in Grand Rapids as well. But look at this at the bus stop in GR, 38 degrees. There's no semblance of any ice at that point. On a Tuesday morning, a south wind at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Those winds will stay fairly light, but begin to pick up by late afternoon and into the evening as a cold front works in here. Look at that daytime high, though, 48 degrees, so not too shabby as we do make a run to near 50 degrees, but likely coming up shy in Grand Rapids. Kalamazoo, yeah, I think you're to 50 to about 52, 53 degrees tomorrow, perhaps even 54. I mean, there's a real nose of milder air as there was today coming up towards I-94. And low pressure traveling along this warm front is beginning to generate a little bit more moisture across the lake in the form of mist and drizzle. It shows up as kind of this almost reminds me of a dessert for some reason. It's just these pretty colors of pink and white and purple, but not for the greatest reason, because there have been slippery conditions already in the northern suburbs of Milwaukee, stretching northward into Green Bay, where again a lot of that is very light, and it is in the form of a mist or drizzle coming down into an atmosphere that is sub-freezing, and it will be across the lake here into West Michigan as well. We have added Grand Rapids, I should say Kent County and Ionia County, but including the city of Grand Rapids into this winter weather advisory. The National Weather Service added that just before 8 o'clock this evening. Nothing fundamentally has changed about the forecast, though, because it's the focus in the northern parts of these southern counties of the advisories that we're focused on. But again, briefly into Grand Rapids, we can get some light freezing mist and drizzle, light freezing rain in this overnight period. Mainly, though, I-96 and southward, it is a rain event, and actually a rather substantial one as we get about 1/2 of an inch. The European model showing just over 3/10 of an inch, but I think there can be some localized pockets that go 1/2 of an inch to 3/4 of an inch, something like that. Not impossible. Somebody could actually get 1 inch of rainfall out of this by the time it winds down tomorrow afternoon, and even a rumble or thunder or two is a possibility, but certainly nothing severe. Look at these temperatures, though. Mid-20s off to the north, right around the lower 30s in GR, but mid-40s in Kalamazoo. I mean, a monster spread of temperature here within our viewing area. East or northeast winds locally at about 10 to 15, even 20 miles per hour. Lesser down to the south, where you've got a little bit of a southerly component to that easterly direction to the wind field. This is at 1 a.m. We're beginning to expand in coverage what you are seeing across the lake in Wisconsin, expanding that into West Michigan. A light rain or a mist or a drizzle. And again, coming down as a freezing mist / drizzle / rain. Northern Kent County and northward from there. So watch your driving. If you're out deep in this overnight for whatever reason or very early on Tuesday morning, there will be slick travel, slick sidewalks, ice coating the vehicles. I don't really think that's going to be a huge problem in Grand Rapids. We're switching over to a plain rain by the time you're going to the bus stop, as we talked about, as temps get into the upper 30s and then surging into the upper 40s around midday and thereafter. Everything winding down mid to late afternoon to just a drizzle or mist, but it's going to be a grimy day, a cloudy day. 49 perhaps on the high side. I'm not certain we're going to get quite that high, but 46, 47, 48. Nonetheless, it's going to be a mild day. Then we go colder. Josh and Janice back down into the 20s. Few flurries on Wednesday. A new system glides down to our south later Thursday, overnight into Friday morning. That could throw down an inch or two. So slick travel early Friday morning and then quiet over the weekend, lower 30s. Colder next week, Monday and Tuesday, back down to the 20s. But I think through next week, you are going to be happy. Janice, we're going to push 30s, 40s. I think big warm up coming later next work week.
And we will look forward to that.
We sure will.
All right, coming up, the U.S. has lifted